Hi, I'm Reed Holson. Welcome to Ask the Mayor, our monthly sit-down conversation, or sometimes we go out and stand up in the City of Sioux Falls with Mayor Mike Huther. And it's a beautiful spring so far. Yes. So your questions, frame the questions on this show. So get in touch with us on siouxfalls.org, click on the Mayor's office, and click on Ask the Mayor, and send us your questions. It's been a pretty good spring so far, Mayor Huther. I mean, as far as weather and getting on road construction and all those things we need to get done.
It really has. We've got a good jump start on all these projects that are so valuable for our city. Whenever you repair something or rebuild something or kind of create something from scratch, good weather certainly helps the contractors and the construction team. And so, yeah, whether it's a new city building that we're working on, whether it be that monster road repair project there on Louise Avenue, and so much more. Weather's good.
In the city administration building, we're seeing some upward movement now in that building.
Boy, it's really doing well. And in fact, Reed, I just visited there with the crew a couple days ago. And we are on schedule. Things are going well. You're starting to see it, rise from the ground. And that elevator shaft is going up. The walls will be going up here soon. And all of a sudden, boom, the fall will be here. It'll be enclosed, it'll be ready for winter, and hopefully we'll have our final product. My goal, of course, maybe even make a little announcement here. I certainly would love to have the ribbon cutting, before I'm done being your mayor. But at the same time, we're gonna do it right versus fast. But right now, it looks pretty positive that could happen.
Yeah, things are moving along quite quickly. And the next year, your last year in office is going along quickly as well, too.
I just expressed that to Cindy. I said, honey, it's about a year to go. So yeah, it is going by fast. The last 7 years have been so wonderful. So many great memories, incredibly rewarding, and what a blessing. And I want to make sure that the next year, I kind of relish in that as well, and try to work with the council to make great things happen. Certainly going to keep listening to the people of Sioux Falls, and we'll do good things. Our city, I don't know if it's on an all-time high, but it feels like it. A lot of great things going on, and I'm really, really confident that we'll be able to maintain that, and I'll do what I can as long as I'm serving.
People are interested in getting your thoughts on really the transition of local leadership, because not only is your office open, there's new city council, obviously. Universities have turned over leadership. There's new leadership in the health systems, the chamber, Forward Sioux Falls, and so on.
It's interesting how kind of these leaders that we've grown accustomed to, whether at the Chamber of Commerce, whether they be at a large healthcare organization, whether they be in government, it is interesting how they do actually move on and do other things with the days that they've been given. And what I found, whether it was in corporate America or in business and in churches and in life and in government, we do move on. Other people step up and they lead and they make their own mark, leaving things better for their kids and their grandkids or their coworkers or their shareholders. And so yeah, transitions are happening in Sioux Falls right now in a big way, but I'm confident all those organizations, including the City of Sioux Falls, are going to do great things. But hey, folks watching the program today, have you ever thought about it yourself? We need you to lead. We want you to be good stewards. Jump into the fray, make a difference, and there's still some time to get your own thoughts together, build your own campaign, and run for public service. And mark my words, it is well worth the effort and sacrifice.
Well, talking about focus and sacrifice, let's get into the budget.
Yes.
Because interesting conundrum, because the sales tax numbers are still fairly down, and you're looking ahead to 2018. So how is this playing into the budget process that you're undergoing right now?
Well, it's interesting. It's almost like a deja vu moment for me, for the finance team, and for the department heads, and yes, the City of Sioux Falls. It's a deja vu moment from when I first started. We really scrutinized our budget and our spending and our revenue coming out of the blocks when I was first elected mayor. It was a tight revenue environment, so that made it an extremely tight spending environment. Had to prioritize things at the highest level. I even had to make some people mad that were used to, getting funds or getting things done through city government. We weren't able to do that. And Sioux Falls, I'm going to have to tell you, we're going to go back to that. We started in last year, way back in March or April, where we started to really tighten our belts at the highest level in city government. And what I'll tell the folks of Sioux Falls, what I'll tell the city council, and anybody else who's intrigued by it, this year's budget, I believe, will be one of the tightest ever in City of Sioux Falls. Revenues are not growing at the pace that we would like them to, and maybe even that we would need them to keep up with this growth. So what that does is it makes us really prioritize everything at the highest level, make things more productive. We have to make things more efficient. We have to make tough choices. And guess what, Sioux Falls? We actually have to make some people really mad. We do. And good leaders are going to do that every now and then. They're going to make really tough choices, tough decisions, all in the spirit of doing the right thing. And Sioux Falls, here's the right thing. We're not going to spend more than what we have. We're going to live within our means. We are going to get as much out of that taxpayer dollar as we can. And your city team, whether they be the employees on the front line or the managers or the directors that are kind of motivating them, they're all working in concert to really maximize that dollar and scrutinize that budget. And city council, they're going to do the same. But I think that we've been trying to relay to the people of Sioux Falls that this is real. And I think there's a number of people out there who still don't believe it. But I think Governor Dugard has done a really good job relaying it. I think that the Midwest, if you pay any attention to what's going on in Iowa or Minnesota or Nebraska or North Dakota, boy, they're really tightening their belts. And yes, Tracy Turback and this Mayor Mike guy, we started talking about it way back in March of last year. And it's real. And we are going to feel it. But we're also going to still make good things happen for our taxpayers, for our citizens, those visitors, and we'll keep doing great things for our city.
Well, you're a positive thinker for the city. You're the biggest cheerleader, but I'm hearing some serious tones here about the potential for not enough growth in sales tax for the coming year.
Well, I think that you can cheerlead all you want, and I do try to do that, and I'm going to keep cheerleading for the city. But at the same time, you do also have to be that leader that also has to, make really tough decisions during those really, really challenging times. Whether it be, that ice storm or that 1,000-year rain event that creates a flood, or yes, making tough decisions when it comes to, salaries that we pay or projects that we undertake or whatever it would be. Being a leader also, makes you do those tough things. And that's not just the mayor. That's the department heads, that's the city council, and so much more. And I think that in South Dakota and in Sioux Falls, we really, really appreciate that. I mean, my gosh, Reed, we live within our means in our homes. We live within our means in our churches. We've got small businesses and large businesses that have to live within their means or else they close down. And those same principles must apply in government. We've been doing that for 7 years, and we're going to do at least one more. And my gut says is that even after I'm gone, this city will continue to follow those principles.
Let's switch over to the Ice and Rec Center and the Glory House deal. A lot of us are confused as to what actually happened there. Can you help us understand what the deal is with the Glory House and what's going on in the future with that facility and Ice and Rec and the land?
And it's still not done. It's still evolving. But try to give you a little flavor. We've got a piece of property that encompasses not only land but also a building, the old Ice and Rec Center. We've not utilized that facility for quite some time. but it is still very, very valuable. And what we're trying to do is figure out, so how do we, maximize that value, get a good return for the taxpayers? Well, there have been some thoughts in terms of, well, maybe we donate that land or donate that property to a nonprofit in the spirit of letting them do some good things. And that's, again, where I think that there's going to always be disagreement in terms of, why should they get it versus somebody else? Or why shouldn't we, get the biggest bang for the taxpayer dollar? And I think that what we've done in this case is we found some good common ground. People like Mark Cotter, Mike Cooper, they've worked with the folks at the Glory House, along with some on the council, to try to find that good balance. Still be prudent, still be responsible to the taxpayer, still find value for what it's worth, and at the same time, take advantage of some of the other value that may come from an institution like the Glory House. So right now, it's still some work that's being done. The board of directors at the Glory House and the executive director, they still are working on some things that will provide us even more due diligence and more confidence that if we do donate some of that property or the value, that we'll get some good return on it. And at the same time, the City of Sioux Falls, we're going to do everything that we can to protect those taxpayers and those citizens that own it. Because you do own it, taxpayers, it's yours. And here's the deal. People have to understand, there is nothing for free. There isn't. So if we give away this piece of property for free, and it was valuable, those are dollars that we can't put towards something else. And I get it. I've been in this now for 7 years. We make tough choices. Not everybody's going to be happy with every decision that we make. But I think in the end, just like we do time and time again, when you've got good city government, a council, citizens, an executive branch, and yes, a mayor, when they work together to collaborate, find common ground, compromise a little bit, and actually communicate, boy, you'd be amazed at what you can accomplish. And with the Ice and Rec Center and the Glory House, I think that we'll do just that. Annexation
islands. That's a topic that's been talked about quite a while. These islands of land that need to be annexed into the city. Interactive process going on. Where does that stand?
Well, not as good as I'd like it to stand. And people of Sioux Falls, we've tackled a lot since I've been your mayor. And behind the scenes, I will let people know, this is one of those projects that we've been tackling for years. And in reality, I think we've actually lost ground versus made any ground on it. We have more islands that are in need of annexation than when I started. And this one is a beast because we're a growing city. We grew the city of Harrisburg, for example, just last year alone. So we are growing. We are encompassing more land. There are these established pieces of property, these old established neighborhoods that we're kind of growing around. And so the process that's set up is to annex them. You prefer that they're voluntary annexations, but in some cases, especially in a city like Sioux Falls when we're growing so fast, you can talk about involuntary annexations, and boy, are those challenging. And so what we've done for years is we've tried to find a good process, a good solution, and ultimately it's not worked out as well as we'd wanted. Now, thanks to the leadership of people like Councilor Kiley, Councilor Neitzert, Councilor Sailberg, they've been willing to jump into the arena, work with not only other councilors, but also the administration, as well as to engage citizens, maybe to find a good solution to bring in these pieces of property, have them take full advantage of the opportunities and the services that we provide in the city, and still maybe take advantage of some of the nuances of these unique pieces of property or these unique neighborhoods as well. Again, kind of maybe bearing my soul here a little bit, Reed. One of our goals was to try to make everybody look and feel like everybody else in town. That was probably too aggressive. And I think it's a lesson learned for me and for others in the executive branch. And so I think that, you've got these areas like Old Orchard Heights, for example, where it's got its own flavor. Doesn't have near the sidewalks, doesn't have the curb and gutter, doesn't have near the lights, and instead it's got some horses that live around there. It's got a lot of unique trees and their own little homemade walking paths. That's not all bad. In fact, it's kind of cool. And so maybe we can find a way to allow that, embrace that here in the city of Sioux Falls. And my gut says we're going to do just that. But I am going to say this, or I am going to ask this, and that is, hey people, if you could just give us also some patience. Let the process work. There's been some real misinformation thrown around out there that has really only kind of, I think, added unnecessary fuel to this fire that's been created, and it's unnecessary. We're gonna do things well. We'll do things right. It'll be fair in the end, but it's gonna be hard, and so bear with us. But we're gonna get it done.
All right. We'll watch.
Thank you,
and we'll keep track, and you can on SiouxFalls.org as well, too. Mayor and I are going to take a break. When we come back, Sioux Falls has made another top 10 list. We'll tell you what it is when we come back and ask the mayor. The city of Sioux Falls has a powerful way you can turn this into this. The free sanitary landfill pass can help you get rid of clutter, improve the look of your home, reduce areas that mosquitoes breed in your yard, and help the environment. Load up your stuff, grab your free pass, tarp your load, and bring it to the landfill. It's that easy. Brought to you by the City of Sioux Falls Sanitary Landfill. Welcome back to Ask the Mayor. We love it when you keep in touch with us at SiouxFalls.org. Go to the mayor's office on the website and click on Ask the Mayor and send your questions to us. Well, Mayor, another top 10 list, and it was fun to see this one. I mean, this is a really good one. Tell us about it.
Come here, Reed.
All right, there we go.
It is a fun one.
Yep.
We were just in the USA Today national news talking about how one of the top 10 streets in a downtown when it comes to retail and things that were happening is in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. It's Phillips Avenue. And I just loved it because it talked about all kinds of things, places to shop, places to eat, the fun, the way that it looks, the vibrancy, the sculpture walk, all the grand things that are happening there. And again, I remember what Phillips Avenue was like in 2009. It wasn't near as vibrant, wasn't near as busy, certainly was not near as fun. And so we've come a long way in 7 years. And now we made another top 10 list in a big, big way. And so I'm just thrilled by it. And hey, anybody listening to this program, including those of the active generation that maybe are at that retirement center or that care facility, I'm going to ask you a favor. Let's get on a bus. Let's get in some sort of a vehicle. Come on downtown. You've got to check out your downtown. It is dramatically changed. It's so brilliant right now. The new sculptures just came out. It's fun, it's fresh, it's vibrant. And find out what everybody else around the U.S. now is reading about and why Phillips Avenue and soon to be Main and so many others are just rocking right now.
Yeah, lots of new choices coming downtown,
yes,
too. It's
yeah.
fun to see that. Another new improvement, you mentioned earlier in the show that we grew by Harrisburg last year, and traffic is becoming interesting. So more moves in the traffic signals to keep things moving.
Well, and we do, and there is a hunger for it. Oh boy. It's interesting, Heath Hofsteiser, he's got a unique job in that, this is a city where we want to keep moving. We don't really like stop signs. We don't like red lights. We want to get from point A to point B as safely and as fast as we can. So there is this demand to keep Sioux Falls moving. Let's flow as good as we can. And so there's a couple things that are happening. Number one, we've got this traffic light technology that is being incorporated into 41st Street, Minnesota Avenue, 26th Street. That will make a difference. But also, I'll try to be brief. Cindy and I were going to the airport one early morning, and I mean, this was early. It was dark. There was no one out there on the roads but Cindy and I going to the airport. And all of a sudden, we come up on this big road and hit a stoplight, and we're looking this way and that way, no cars. Looking this way and that way, no cars. But yet we're not allowed to proceed, and it's about 5 in the morning. And I'm going, well, this makes no sense to me. And there's all kinds of examples of that still in our city. So I reached out to Heath, and he said, Mayor, let's take another look. And between he and the police team, they found a way to get more lights in our town to flash. Flash yellow, flash red, so that we can come up, look both ways safely, and then proceed. We've come a long, long way. About well over 90% of our lights now have that ability to proceed, but we found a couple more. And I just love it. And so, folks, if you're watching the program, if there's a light out there that you really struggle with, it doesn't make sense to you or doesn't seem efficient, let us know. And I know Heath and his team will check it out.
Well, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
We appreciate it very much. Smoking.
Yes.
Now, smoking is a personal issue for you. I
Yes.
understand you talked about that quite often. Employees of the City of Sioux Falls, there's a strict no tobacco policy at work. Now, you and the City Council have worked finally on this ordinance for smoking in public areas, too.
Well, this is a perfect example of how when the executive branch and the legislative branch, when they work together, they can really find good common ground and make great things happen for not only our citizens, but maybe our visitors. And in this case, thanks to the leadership of many, including Councilor Christine Erickson, for example, Jill Franken, Don Kearney, Mary Michaels, and others, they were able to find something that really surprised me, but I was so pleased by their end result of their work. They put together a very, very strong, prudent policy that's going to protect not only the citizens of Sioux Falls and their health, but also visitors that come to our town as well. And so I love it. I just really do. Again, not going to, my dad died of smoking. It killed him at an early age. It's going to kill your dad. It's going to kill your brother. It's going to kill your grandma, no doubt. And so with that in mind, we wanted to help protect people from the dangers of tobacco. And again, thanks to the leadership of many, they did it. And I couldn't be more proud of them.
You can find out more about that on Insight as well, too. It's all spelled out what you can and can't do and where it's acceptable and not.
And really the premise is that if it is on public property, and that includes parks, that includes city buildings, including things like our new event center or indoor pool. Those are places where you are going to be limited when it comes to tobacco use, and that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. City's been working on Project Nice and Keep again this year
Yes.
in certain targeted neighborhoods, and code enforcement's important too, and keeping things clean and cut and cleaned up in the neighborhoods.
It is. I have been pretty vocal on this in my 7 years. I just want a nice town, and we all know that really one neighbor who cares less or doesn't want to be a good neighbor and can really mess it up for the 99 good ones all around him. That could be a homeowner, it could be a business owner, but whatever it is, if you see something that just doesn't look right, they're not mowing their lawn, they've got a junky car that doesn't have an updated license on their property, or they're doing something that's just unsightly or not following the code, let us know. They maybe have too many chickens in their backyard.
You can have chickens in the city
You
of Sioux
can have
Falls.
some chickens, but you're limited. But if you got too many chickens, if you're not mowing your lawn and you've got weeds all over the place, or yeah, you've got a junky car, or you've got trash that's just been piling up, Sioux Falls, let us know. This is our town. We're prideful of our town, and we want to represent it at the best level that we can. And if there's someone out there who needs to be held accountable, guess what? We'll do it. We'll do it fairly. We'll do it professionally, but we will hold you accountable. And when we do that, 99% of the time, folks understand, they comply, and they do the right thing. For those small percentage that don't, there's other means that we can use to make sure that they ultimately do.
Well, spring is here and the nice weather's here too. And in the summer, the 20-mile bike trail is looking good, but major improvements happening in the southern part.
Yes, the bike trail has come a long, long way. I love it. But yeah, we're always trying to keep it updated, keep it safe, keep it smooth. And there are some big improvements that are going on the south side of our trail that'll really spruce it up and keep it safe. As well as, Reed, we are trying to create more spurs. And what I mean by that is we've got this loop that goes around our city called our bike trail. And now we're adding these spurs to the loop so that whether you're north, south, east, west, or in the middle of our town, you can get to our great bike trail and really, really enjoy it. So we're still investing in that. So whether it be repairing it or making it even more accessible, it's something that we really care about in this town. And just like we're proud of our downtown, we're proud of our great city, we're proud of our parks and our bike trail too. And so take advantage of it. My goodness, the weather has been phenomenal. Get out there and enjoy the day that we've been given.
And too, we want to caution people to make sure that they honor those barricades that are up and not go around them because they're there for your safety.
Yeah, and I've done it. I'll just, again, I've done it too. Dumb me, I've done it. It doesn't make sense, Sioux Falls. We are trying to keep you safe. And as adventurous as we are, including this mayor, thinking that he would just take a shortcut, bad idea, a dumb idea. So yeah, I'm training for another half marathon, and it's been going very, very well. I use our bike trail for my training, but yes, those barricades are there for a reason, Mayor. And the rest of you too. So thank you.
Yeah, we want to keep you safe. I appreciate your time, Mayor.
You're welcome. Thank you, Reed. And really, let's just enjoy the day that we've been given. There's so many great things going on. And you know what, Sioux Falls, every now and then we're going to have challenges. Some of them are going to be really hurtful. But in the end, you know, I think that if we keep working together, we work productively, we stay positive, there's nothing that we can't overcome. I mean, nothing. And in fact, you may find that in the end, the challenge is only going to make us stronger. And to get us ready for the next challenge, it's certainly coming our way. So Sioux Falls, thank you for letting me, help you lead as well as others. Because guess what? There's really great things coming our way.
All right. Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome, Reed.
All right. And thank you for watching Ask the Mayor.